My name is Andrei Serbin. I specialize in defense, security, and human rights matters, and specifically in the area of Latin America. I was born in Venezuela, but I'm Argentine. I'm currently living in Brazil. I majored in public policy, then I did a postgraduate in national defense, and then my master's in international relations with specialization in defense, security, and peace. So I'm research coordinator for CRIES, which is a Latin American Caribbean think tank. We have over 70 members, mostly academia, research centers, academic centers, NGOs, former diplomats, so people that are specializing mostly on foreign policy in Latin America, but we work a lot in different areas. So our main areas are conflict prevention, human rights, regional integration, citizens diplomacy, with support from the Nexus Fund. It's a bilateral exchange between MIGS and CRIES, in which we seek to interact, both one organization from the north and one from the global south, in order to have a better understanding of how our organizational dynamics are, and also get a better understanding of the political reality of each country, especially regarding human rights and mass atrocity prevention and R2P. So right now in Canada, the agenda is focused on having a better understanding of what happens at the legislative branch, what happens in the Foreign Affairs Office, what happens overall in Canada when it comes to R2P and mass atrocity prevention. And we hope to do the second part of the exchange with the same focus, but on Argentina and Brazil, and that will lead in the future to increased cooperation between both organizations and probably facilitate, through access to information, future programs in the area. When it comes to Latin America, we see that some of the main challenges have to do both with the interpretation that many governments in the region might have towards international mechanisms regarding human rights. They might interpret them to be forms of foreign interventionism. And on the other hand, sometimes we find very weak state institutions that do not allow to really enforce preventive mechanisms. This, of course, is very different from a case-by-case and country-by-country analysis, but overall we see that these are two big challenges in the region. But there's a lot of lessons learned in the region. There's a great deal of experience regarding human rights violations and post-conflict or re-democratization processes that came afterwards, whether this be what has happened in the Southern Cone after the dictatorships, what we've been seeing in Central America after the conflicts. So there's a lot to learn from those experiences, and also having the Inter-American human rights system allows you to already have a certain structure for preventive mechanism, and that could not only be reinforced in the Latin American scenario, but that could be adopted or it can be replicated, or at least serve as inspiration for similar structures in other parts of the world. This trip to Canada has been very useful, as it has helped me to better understand what are the political dynamics inside Canada, especially when it comes to decision-making processes in foreign policy and human rights, identifying relevant actors, relevant civil society organizations, how the discussion takes place, and also to really see that R2P, mass atrocity prevention, human rights, they really have a strong role in the agenda in Canada. Therefore, it opens up the doors to opportunities for cooperation with Latin American region, which is in dire need of reinforcing in this area specifically. Of course, there's differences between different sub-regions, but overall, in Latin America in general, there is a need to reinforce preventive structures when it comes to human rights, and Canada can be a very important ally or a partner in such matters. In the long term, we should be able to increase overall the exchanges between both organizations and possibly lead to a partnership that will be fruitful, not only in the sense of specific cooperation between MIGS and CRIES, but also that the networks that are set up by both organizations can be useful to both, especially when it comes to cooperation with civil society. Therefore, MIGS being able to approach CRIES and having access to the network that we have built, and also have the same situation when it comes to CRIES coming to Canada. It's only through this increased cooperation that in the future we can really build hemispheric level programs that will approach key issues relating to human rights, mass atrocity prevention, and R2P, and not just Latin America, not just North America, but the hemisphere as a whole.